Welcome to Front Row. Top news in the Virgin Islands is told only by JTV on the Front Row today. Premier Whitley gives two sides of the coin on the leaked public assistance grant report. A Virgin Islander and a senior in the United States Virgin Islands cabinet takes on the topic Embrace Equity, the theme for International Women's Day 2023, and 25 families happier with gifts from Win BVI thanks to Maples in demonstrating its corporate duties. Details when we return.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050.
Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year.
Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.
Welcome back for the news in detail. It's time for organizations to better represent women. A position of Daughter of the Virgin Gorda Soil, currently Director of the Office of Management and Budget in the United States of Virgin Islands, Honorable Jennifer O'Neill.
I've seen where elderly persons have been left in both hospitals, St. Thomas and St. Croix, by their family members, in some cases for years, because they either don't have the funds or the capacity to care for these individuals. We've seen persons being evicted from their homes because they're unable to pay their rent and have their utilities shut off because they were laid off, especially during COVID. Many of these individuals were and are people of color, and a significant amount of them were, in fact, women. In a 2020 study from McKinsey & Company about COVID-19 and gender equality, it was noted that women make up 39% of global employment, but accounted for 54% of overall job losses. From this, isn't it clear then that there should be new policies put in place to facilitate women's participation in the labor market? That same study found that Black women deal with more day-to-day bias in the workplace than any other minority. The study points out that Black women face a more comprehensive microaggression range, from having their judgment questioned to hearing demeaning remarks about themselves or people like them. Organizations must begin to be a more supportive place for Black women and for all women.
Honorable O'Neill was the guest speaker at the Guavaberry Marketing Annual International Women's Day event, and she shared how women are in prominent seats in the United States of Virgin Islands government structure.
In my current appointment as the Director of the Office of Management and Budget for the government of and this is the official name, the Government of the Virgin Islands of the United States, otherwise known as the U.S. Virgin Islands. I am third in the official line of succession, and I lead the governor's financial team. These are roles that I have held since January 2019, and roles that have traditionally been held by men. I will say that Governor Brian, and let me say his proper name, Governor Albert Bryan Jr., the top 4-5 people in his cabinet are all women. Okay. We have the Commissioner of Finance, that is a woman. We have the Attorney General, that's a woman. We have the OMB Director, that's a woman. We have the Property and Procurement Commissioner is also a woman, and we have a lot of the Department of Health Commissioner is a woman. Department of Human Services, again, is a woman. The Chief Negotiator is a woman. Most of his cabinet are women. He comes into the room many times and he says, "Oh my God, I need some men in here." We need some testosterone, as he said. But, you know, he clearly he's very happy. He's very happy with her work. And so even when someone leaves, he puts an acting to be a woman. And I will tell you the difference is Governor Bryan listens. And maybe because, like I said earlier, there's a lot of women in his life and he's appointed a lot of women, he actually listens to you.
She spoke on the theme for the observance this year, Embrace Equity.
Remember, equality means treating everyone the exact same, whereas equity means treating people in accordance with their individual needs and situations. There are numerous benefits of embracing equity, such as more diverse voices, a range of opinions. It gives the people the ability to flourish, and there's a better result for everyone.
The first thing that I'm going to do, Madam Speaker, before I say anything about the contents of this report, is to condemn in the strongest fashion the unauthorized release of this document into the public.
Governor John J. Rankin tagged it leaked. The Assistance Grant Audit Report, which contained some names of persons who benefited. The report was issued by the International Audit Department in December of 2022 and was tabled in Cabinet. However, it was not to be released to the public before its return to the House of Assembly and passed in redacted form, but it got leaked.
The Auditor General who did this report agreed that the names in this document should be redacted. It was sent to myself and the governor, I believe maybe December 30th, somewhere around there. Document not leaked. No problem with the document all over the street. Madam Speaker, the document finally comes to Cabinet. It took a long time to come. Finally comes to Cabinet. Right after it comes to Cabinet, it's all over the street. I hear a Rasta man talking about, have you gotten your bundle? You get your bundle yet? I got my bundle.
This leak has resulted in the governor calling for investigations. Now, during the March 9, 2023 sitting of the House of Assembly, Premier and Minister of Finance Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Whitley warns against a further circulation of the unofficial report.
And I'm hearing, Madam Speaker, persons on the radio speaking about this unredacted report, saying that as soon as it's laid on the table, they'll be able to speak about it. And Madam Speaker, I want to make it very clear. This report that we have just laid on the table is an redacted version. And I want to caution persons out there, if you go and share this unredacted version, even after we've laid this on the table, you are violating the confidentiality of a cabinet document. It is a serious offense. And you must not do it. And those persons who made the decision to expose the identities of the 4,000 people in this document have decided to go against what the Auditor General recommended in redacting these names, the governor and myself. They've made a decision for themselves that they're going to take matters into their own hands, decisions which are not theirs to make, and circulate this document to the public.
Premier Whitley sees the releasing of the names as causing collateral damages.
Now, Virgin Islands people are proud people. Virgin Islands people, you know that saying, you build yourself up from your bootstraps? That's Virgin Islands people. Very proud people, very independent people. And if they come to you and ask you for something, it's because they really needed it. And they don't want their business exposed all over the place. Now, who am I, or who is anybody, to go and put those persons' business on the streets? I'm extremely disappointed at the decision that someone made to leak this document to the public and expose those persons. Now, of course, the redacted version, you can still see the amounts persons got. You could still see that individual one or individual two got it. Why was it necessary to go and embarrass these people in the way that was done? Why was that necessary? What, for politics? We have to stop destroying each other just for politics and for power. Let us stop doing it. In trying to hurt me or trying to hurt somebody else, you end up hurting a whole bunch of other people. Collateral damage. I have no respect for it.
When the document got leaked, the persons allegedly pronounced that many on the list did not qualify for especially large sums of monies they received. However, Premier Whitley condemned judgment.
So please, don't disqualify somebody just because they walk in an office. And they should not have any unfair advantage. They should not have any unfair advantage over anybody else.
Meantime, flaws existed during the time the grants were given.
Madam Speaker, let me acknowledge very clearly that the system that we had flaws. Madam Speaker, that was an error. The reason that was an error, Madam Speaker, is because somebody could go to the various ministries with the same need and get help from different agencies. Now, I don't think this was something that was done dishonestly by most persons. Most persons are just trying to solve the challenge. It's not to say you're not going to get some dishonest ones who try to cheat the system and game the system. But we did not have appropriate measures in place to be able to defend against abuse.
Fixes are in train, according to Premier Whitley.
So having it administered from one ministry will allow a greater degree of control.
Assistance grants were taken from the hands of legislators and the House of Assembly as the territory continues to implement recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry. Corporate BVI continues to do its part in positively impacting lives of persons. In this case, Maples, making the lives of some 25 families among Tortola and Anegada happier.
Congratulations to all of our women at Maples, and in particular Kate and Diana and all those who've been involved in putting this all together. We have as a percentage ratio in our firm, I don't know exactly what it is, but there are certainly a lot more women than men. It's not a day for a man to be speaking about this sort of stuff, but I'm really happy that we've been able to use this as an opportunity to do more giving within the community. We have a good track record of doing that. That's changed a lot for our firm over the last, since Irma, and it's something we take really seriously. So I just want to say well done to all the women at Maples, especially those who've been involved in the contributions today that help women more in need than ours. So thank you, well done. Okay.
So on behalf of Maples, I'm really, really pleased to be able to gift these bags and some others that we already handed over yesterday to Win BVI and to Miss Green, and to bring a little bit of joy and support and celebration to other women.
This partnership supports the work of women's organization Win BVI.
On behalf of Win BVI, I would like to say thank you very much to the Maples team. I wore green today on purpose, not because it's my last name, but on purpose because when we gifted these bags last night, you should have seen the hope and the spring of life on the ladies' faces. And I have to tell you, some of these bags are headed to Anigata today, to another set of women that we service over there. So your contribution is reaching not only Tortola, but our sister islands. And we are very happy to be the recipients of this year's International Women's Day initiative from Maples. WinBVI, we are a platform that delivers, and I should say provide, programs of reform for women in need. And sometimes I pause on the women in need because there's so many different problems that women face, and we try to bridge the gap for those issues to not only encourage them, but empower them to be the best version of themselves, regardless of what they're going through in the moment. We have 2 programs. One is our single parenting program that meets every Tuesday, which was last night. It meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. for an hour and a half, where we have the women and their children going through different sessions that teaches them give them tools for different situations that they will go through in life. We have the children in one area and the parents in one area on purpose, because while we are helping the women, we didn't want them to say, well, we can't come because we don't have a sitter. And so sometimes we'll be out there asking for volunteers, and those volunteers would be to help us to manage or supervise the children. So we have a structured program for the children, and we also have a structured program for the mothers. The other program we have is an online program, which again is more regional. It's called Reclaiming Me, and that is also a reform program that helps women to get through abuse.
WinBVI continues to strengthen its reach to women in need with a number of initiatives in the pipeline. That will do it for this edition of Front Row. Top news in the Virgin Islands is told only by JTV. Remember to follow us as well on Facebook at JTV Channel 55 and on YouTube at Jahphix Television-JTV. I'm Kathy Richards. Thank you so much for joining us.